I have a confession to make. I'm addicted to thick. Thick with 2 C's. This is evident by the fact I've made 16,000 videos of thick laptops. Now, my favorite, as you know, is the almighty Toshiba Qosmio, Exquismio from 2008. This is amazing. This is my favorite laptop of all time. This is the Mall Ninja laptop that encapsulates the mid to late 2000s. I love this laptop. But you know what? When you're addicted to something, you always want something stronger, something heavier, something thicker. So I went, hey, stop that. Stop. So like my wife, I got something bigger. The Toshiba Qosmio G55 Q804. Or as I like to call it, the bigger Toshiba Qosmio. I have no fancy name for it. Now this bad boy is 18 inches. 18.6. Let me give you an exact specification. 18.4. This bad boy is 18.4 inches. Dimensions, the screen, 18.4. Compared to this one, which is like something inches. That many inches. So unlike Big Red here, this Toshiba Qosmio was a media center laptop. It was designed to be a home entertainment system that was somewhat portable. I don't know how you define portable, but 18.4 inches of portability and 11 pounds seems like it might be more of a hassle than it is portable. But this thing is cool as hell. It has an antenna for like radio. Yeah, FM. You guys remember radios? Yeah, it has an FM antenna input slot right here. It has a Kensington lock. There's no way anything's keeping this baby down though. This will break the lock. Now it does have some cool aesthetics. It has the chrome trim, the late 2000s chrome, when everybody had dubs on their car and spinners and chrome was the thing. It has 2 huge heatsink vents, VGA port, HDMI port. I don't know what is supposed to go there. Something maybe went there at one point in a different model. This isn't the expensive model, I guess. This is about $2 grand back in 2008, so it was expensive back then. eSATA port, or eSATA port, whatever you want to say. Tomato, tomato. No one uses that anymore. It also doubles as a USB port. The Ethernet port. This is an empty something or other. Now, I bought this off eBay. I really don't know too much about this computer. It was an impulse buy. I was on eBay after a few drinks of the finest tequila, and I said, you know what, I need this Toshiba. And here we are. DVD player in the front, wireless switch, little Qosmio badge in case you forget what laptop you're actually using. It was broken at some point, which is crazy because if this bad boy fell, it would probably break the floor. If my MacBook fell, it would break the screen. Unless, of course, I'm using the TomTalk Defender A42 laptop case.
Because all 4 corners of this baby are protected with corner armor. That means when you make an oopsie and your laptop discovers gravity, the impact is absorbed by the cushion instead of the corner of your precious device. Just imagine if I did that with a regular laptop sleeve. There's no way it would have survived without the corner caving in and breaking the screen. But this isn't just a laptop case, it also doubles as a storage bag. With a tri-compartment system, you don't have to worry about cords, chargers, and toothbrushes floating around and scratching up your laptop, or falling out when you're running to catch a train. And if you don't feel like sacrificing a hand to carry your laptop around, just slap on the shoulder strap and free those fingers up to put them to better use, like clicking the link in the description to take advantage of TomTalk's Amazon Prime Day sale, where you can grab the Defender A42 at a hefty discount. Because protecting your device is just as important as protecting pieces of history like this.
Now at the time, a huge selling point of this, even though it was more of a gimmick in my opinion, this computer has a separate processor for video encoding and video streaming. So it uses a cell processor, a second processor like the PS3. It can power a webcam-based gesture control system. So apparently, if you do this or something, it like skips or fast forwards. Why would anybody want to use that? I don't know. And it accelerates video coding, as long as you're using the prescribed software, which is going to be impossible for me to find, I'm sure. Now when we open it up, you can see the difference between this one and Big Red over here. Big Red has these big speakers, huge speakers. This is very loud. I don't know how loud this one is. This only has 2 speakers up here. It does have that subwoofer on the bottom though. But you can see there's a significant lack of spice in this one compared to Big Red. That screen do be looking huge though. Ironically, it's not even a 1080 screen. The resolution is not 1080. I forget what the resolution is. We'll find out in a second. Jesus. Okay. Wow. That's gonna break the. On the bottom here, we have a mystery port. I'm excited to see what this is. I think it's a fan filter, maybe. The fans are definitely gooched up. This thing has probably never been cleaned. Hard drive bay. I think that's RAM. That's a vent of some sort. Wi-Fi card, maybe, or maybe that's Wi-Fi card. We'll find out. Windows Vista key. Enjoy. Empty slot. That's just a. There's nothing even here. You can't even access this. I'm sure there was. You could outfit something right here. This is where that goes. So, hard drive, battery, and subwoofer. So what I want to do today, I want to take this bad boy apart. I want to see what makes this thing tick, and I want to install, you know, Windows on it, and see what it was like back in 2008. But I'm mostly interested in the hardware. You know me, I'm not a software guy. I'm interested in the hardware, the engineering design, the engineering that goes into it, and the passion that goes into it. Because clearly at this point of Toshiba's life, they were very passionate about their products. Whoever made this was like, let's throw some flames on it. Let's make it look cool, let's make it look gamer, very game. And whoever made this was like, okay, let's make it look like an entertainment device for the sophisticated ones of us. So I get the specs right. I want to do the specs justice. I'm not very good at reading specs. I don't have a teleprompter or anything like that. So I'm going to open up the eBay listing. This is the eBay listing. This is where I bought it from. So I bought it for $240 from CompuD's Nuts. And this was the computer. So it was running Windows 7 Home. Or is running Windows 7 Home, I should say. That's what it looked like. So this is the description. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM, a 320 gigabyte SSD. It definitely does not have a 320 gigabyte SSD. That's not even a thing. So we're already off to a good start here. It has battery. The health, don't guarantee. It does not include a charger. Thankfully, I'm using a Gateway FX charger that somehow works for this thing. Everything has scratches, blah, blah, blah. What you see in the photos is what you receive. So let's dig into it. Let's see that battery. How about that? Let's see that amazing battery this thing comes with. I'm sure that battery's huge. Bigly. Did you see what I just did there? Did you see what I did? I grabbed a screwdriver to see the battery. You know why? Because I've been conditioned that all batteries are non-replaceable. That all batteries require a screwdriver. No, this was back in the day, right? That is the world's thinnest battery. Behold, folks! Back in the day, they had something called invisible battery tech, or as I like to say, IBT. Not to be confused with IBS. So we're off to a great start on this machine. Shout out to that seller on eBay. Does it have a hard drive? Let's see. Does it have a solid state drive? Most certainly not. Is this where the hard drive goes? All right, we're 0 for 2, 0 for 2, but wait, it has 2 hard drive slots, so let's gamble. Ha! It has a hard drive. It does not have an SSD. It has a Fujitsu HDD from 2008. This is the original hard drive. Wow. I'm sure this hard drive works just fine and it certainly isn't failing. I have no idea, I'm actually just assuming it's going to. There's no way that thing still works. There's no way, especially with this, the seller is delivering this in this condition. There's no friggin' way that thing still works. Here we have, it looks like a fan cable and a little spring-loaded mechanism for this guy right here. And there's also a little antenna right here. Is this for the FM? Is this for like a... I have no idea. I hope you guys know, I make these videos not because I'm an expert in any of this stuff. It's because I genuinely find this stuff interesting and I want to learn more about it. And I enjoy using my platform for people that are smarter than me, which is everybody, to come into the comments and let me know things I didn't know about the computer, things I missed. Educate me. That's what I like. I'm just an idiot that takes things apart with his tiny raccoon-like fingers and shows you what they're like. I'm not going to take it apart yet. I do want to start it up first, obviously, but I want to just start disassembling it. And if it doesn't work, I'm like, oh, did I do something? The answer is probably yes, I probably did, but let's see the RAM. Two 2 gigabyte sticks of 6400S. It's the devil's RAM. 4 gigs was a max on this guy. It is a 64-bit processor, which is nice. I'm very excited for this one, though. I'm hoping it's a dust filter, because that would be super cool to see. Oh my god. I think it's a dust filter.
So I'm assuming this filter isn't actually a filter, it just creates a gap between the fan and the heatsink so that you can clean out the dust when it gets built up in the heatsink. So it's a little maintenance port, I guess.
It's a little Gucci. It's a lot of Gucci right here. The fan itself is Gooch-tastic. The vents, they're not as bad as I would think they were after, what, how many years? So we'll see. We'll see what that is. But it's cool that they have some sort of filtration system. Fujitsu is the only laptop I've actually worked on. I think it was the Fujitsu Lifebook that had a filter system. I think all laptops should have a filter system, but who am I? I'm just
The greatest technician that's ever lived.
So I'm gonna put it back together. Let's start it up. Let's see if it works, and we can go from there. Now, just so I do this computer justice, I'm gonna go on the website. So Toshiba is now called Dynabook because Dynabook bought Toshiba after they went bankrupt. And I found the laptop, and unfortunately there's really no drivers for it. I did download these onto a USB, so we'll try to install that later. But I wanna see the product tour because I'm curious what this thing has to offer, what the, well, thankfully it does have the detailed specs, which you guys can pause, all the other guys that are actually interested in this. So I plugged it in. We don't have a battery, and we don't even have a legitimate charger, but thankfully the Gateway charger from the Gateway FX. I haven't made a long form video on the Gateway FX yet. The short form video did terrible. No one was interested in the Gateway FX, which is weird, because everybody loved the Qosmio. I don't know, maybe I'll do a long form video on the FX. Let me know in the comments. But the charger's plugged in. It looks like it has a light. So I'm gonna press the power button. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna ditch this whole video. Oh, did you hear that? RTC battery is lower. CMOS checksum was inconsistent. Press F1 to set date time. Okay, so obviously the CMOS battery is low. Look at these cool little LEDs. So these ones have blue LEDs instead of the red ones like the other Qosmio. And the little volume knob lights up blue too. That's cool. RGB for boomers. So we're gonna press F1 to set the date and time. Wow. Wow, that is a fancy BIOS. Beat volume, hold on. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna blow these eardrums off. There we go. And save changes and exit. Save changes. Yes. This will save changes until I unplug it. Now let's hope the OS actually works and it's actually installed on there. I don't trust this seller whatsoever. They said it had a battery, it did not. They said it had an SSD, it did not. I don't think it showed the crack in the case. Oh, this is great. Great start. Start Windows normally. So they probably just unplugged it last time they used it. Let's start Windows normally and see if it actually starts. Oh, we have an animation. It looks like it does have Windows 7. The sticker on here is Windows Vista Home Premium. That's always a good sign. Let's let it check. Let's let it check the disk. It's gonna be a while. Well, that took long enough. I'll take that. Well, now we have a problem. Should we activate Windows? No, we shouldn't. Yeah, whatever. It's very important to use a genuine copy. Okay, all right.
That's illegal.
That's illegal! So it looks like they just installed a stock version of Windows 7. They actually didn't install any of the actual programs that Toshiba is supposed to have on here. And it did take forever. This hard drive, at least, is not doing so well. We can put an SSD in here, which is the good news. I'm not gonna use Windows 7. I know a lot of you guys they want me to use Windows Vista Media Edition, which is cool, but I don't care about liquid ass right now. I'm gonna take the SSD from the gaming Qosmio, and I'm gonna clone it, and then install that cloned SSD into this one. Why am I gonna do that? Because my time is valuable. That's why. And this computer is essentially the exact same thing as this computer. This computer does have some proprietary weird things like the radio antenna and all that stuff. I'm hoping I can find the drivers for those. If I can't, it is what it is, but I'm gonna do that now. I do wanna check to see if this hard drive is good though. This thing is no joke, dude. You close the lid and the ground shakes. I'm gonna take the hard drive out. I'm gonna check the smart status. The hard drive's held in by one screw right here, then it goes into a caddy. It's the usual. So we're gonna check to see what the status of this hard drive is. And that's exactly why I have SATA cords popping out of the machine. Would you look at that? We have a caution. It has uncorrectable sectors. Only one uncorrectable sector actually is not bad at all. That's impressive. At this point, I would think this thing would be cooked. But yep, one uncorrectable sector. It's been powered on, a few times, 2,000 times, a few hours. So that's not too bad. I would expect much worse. So that's kind of impressive. We're gonna put an SSD in there. Screw this thing. I'm not putting the mount in there. Ain't nobody got time for a mount. I don't even know if this SSD is gonna work. I hope it does, but I don't know if it will. The Qosmio is running Windows 10. That's what this one's running, Windows 10. I know you guys are screaming at your screens. Listen to this. It's very pleasant noise. It's not the gamer noise you get nowadays, but you know, fucking guitars and dragons flying around and fire stuff. I don't know what I'm saying. I wonder how many of these got broken, dude. I would not be able to stop playing with this thing. It's like practice for... Gorgeous. Good thing Microsoft Defender didn't find any viruses. The most important thing, does that volume button work? Kinda works, I guess? There's no rhyme or reason to this thing. Up goes down and up, down goes up and down. It might be useless, but it's exciting. Oh, it did work, 100%. Do I have to do it quick? Oh, I have to do it fast. Oh, okay. You just gotta do it quick. Oh, that's something I can get behind. Oh, that's cool, man. Come on. All the way down. All the way up. So let's test those speakers out. We're gonna crank it 100%. What? This turned into a Honda Civic. Ah! Holy shit! The subwoofer is smacking against the plastic. The cone might be broken inside. Like the edges that surround the cone might be broken inside, and that's why it's doing that. But it absolutely sounds like, you know, that car that comes through your hood at 3 a.m. No business being as loud as it is with that license plate just rattling. I used to be that car. I'm sorry. These speakers hit, dude. This is loud. So I've loaded a bunch of drivers on here, as many as I could find with Snappy Driver installer Origin or whatever. And there's quite a few it didn't find. The radio, the FM 100, unknown device, I don't know, all this USB stuff. I'm hoping that this is going to install the drivers for me, but I really don't have any faith because notoriously this Dynabook service station, Toshiba service station, it just cancels out because the servers don't even exist anymore. So let's try. Oh, holy shit. Dude, fucking Windows. How much money did whoever this is, how much money, Avowed Premium Edition? How much money did they pay Microsoft to send that notification to every single Windows 10 and Windows 11 computer? How much money? Fucking greedy pieces of shit, man. Yes, 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 that's why you should use Linux. I agree. How much money do I have to pay Microsoft to get a pop-up to subscribe, to like and subscribe to my channel? Where's the Dynabook service station? Did this just uninstall the Dynabook service station? Oh wait, it's here, service station. Oh, okay, so we're here. So, okay. Cannot initiate. What happened? That's very loud. Am I crazy? Did I not see that flash on the screen real quick? It's like that meme of the raccoon that dumps the cotton candy in the water and then it's gone. That's what just happened to me. I saw the service station, I clicked it, and then it's gone. It says it installed again. So let's see. Did we actually install Dynabook service station so that we can use the drivers on this thing? Because I really want to use that gesture. That's how I want to skip. When I'm watching my 4K educational videos, hopefully it doesn't pay attention to the hand down here. It only sees the hand up here. A truly hands-free experience. Why is my hand down here? My desk is low. My mouse is over here. You sick fuck. Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, cool. All right, we have a Dynabook service station. Now, what we want to do, my PC is up to date. That scares me because that means it doesn't even see the drivers that are missing. So it sees the system information, which is easy, right? It has an NVIDIA GeForce 9200M GS. I absolutely expect that thing to burn itself to death in a few minutes because that was notoriously defective. Software updates, please, please. Damn it. This was my concern, that the server no longer exists. This is a big thing, isn't it? This could be a whole other video, right? And I think this goes hand in hand with the current discussion about owning what you buy. When you buy something, do you actually own it? I guess this probably did come with the drivers, right, on a CD, but I obviously don't have that CD. And the company doesn't make these drivers available permanently. Is that okay? Should companies be forced to keep the drivers and the software forever for a product that they sell on their website or whatever? The software that controls the hardware, the proprietary hardware that's in the machine, uses their software. But if they don't make the software available, that means the hardware that you bought isn't able to be used. Just a question, but this sucks because I really want to use some of these things. I'm curious, what if we use the Toshiba service station instead of the Dynabook service station? Damn it. Yeah, the network doesn't exist. That stinks. Probably archive.org, right, would be a way to get these drivers. Oh man, this is always the problem with these machines. Help me out with the software. If you can find the drivers for this thing, put them in the comments below. I know archive.org probably has them somewhere, but I don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours trying to find drivers for this thing. I've seen the software, or lack thereof. What I want to do is dig into this thing and see the hardware. And that's what we're going to do. Let's do it. Because I respect your time so much, I'm going to time lapse it, which is what this guy is here for. So, let's get started. Well, that was exciting. I learned a lot taking this thing apart. First thing I learned, this is a door. Clearly a door. I'm just an idiot. You press it, it unlocks, and we have a remote. We actually have a remote. Whether or not it works, I don't know. It does have a coin cell battery in there. Okay, it does not have a coin cell battery in there. I didn't check it. Now I know it does not. A lot of stuff in here. So we have a WPAN card, which, is that the Bluetooth card? You guys are gonna have to help me out here. I think that's the Bluetooth card. I think this is a radio card of some sort. Wi-Fi cards over here. And we have the 2 fans, of course, as you see. The top case, little volume dial, has its own board right there. So that board's probably what's bugging out on us. Look at this hinge though. The thing's huge. It's a massive hinge. Massive hinge. That was an interesting one to take out, but unfortunately, I'm kind of devastated here. The speaker is completely cooked. Yeah, so you see the cone on that thing? It's toast. So that stinks. And also, the reason we were hearing that rattle, you guessed it. You already know. The subwoofer is cooked. Clearly. I mean, this poor thing, that upsets me a lot because this thing, the speakers are very, very loud when they do work. It's a shame. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna take out the motherboard. The motherboard was just held in by 1 screw. So the motherboard comes out, a few cables get disconnected, and here we are. This is the best that Media Entertainment had in 2008. Interesting cooling design. I really think that's not enough cooling for such a big chip. This tiny piece of copper. That is a design choice. Same thing with that CPU. There's not much gooch at all in these vents. These are pretty clean. The CPU is replaceable. I don't know what you can upgrade it on, but I'm gonna guess it's nothing crazy, but you can replace the CPU. GPU is also modular. I don't know how much you can upgrade this thing. Interesting setup. I am gonna just take it apart. Let's see what the paste looks like. The dust filter definitely needs to be cleaned. I can't remove it, so I'm gonna have to just use your mother's toothbrush that I have handy right here to just scrub that out. So that came out pretty well. We can't get any more broken than it is now. That came out pretty well. Filter's cleaned. Now let's get into the thermal paste on the board. Come on in here. That is some old paste. Sweet Lord. That's crusty. Crusty dusty. I'm gonna just scrape that paste off. I'm not gonna record this because you guys don't wanna see that. The heatsink's nice and clean, and so is the GPU. The GPU looks like scratched. Do you see how scratched that is? And I did not do that. So the thermal paste came right off. It's kind of interesting how damaged it looks, but I'm gonna throw some AMEC on there. And we're gonna call it a day, and then we're gonna move to the CPU. And time for the CPU. These are the world's smallest heat sinks. I've never seen heat sinks this small. I might be exaggerating, but they're very, very tiny. And I am gonna take off this heat sink too, because I'm curious what that processor actually looks like. Looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. Not good paste, but you know, it's from 1912, so what do you expect? I'm gonna clean that off and I'm gonna repaste that, and then we're gonna take a look at this guy right here. Look how pitted this CPU is. I don't know if the camera can do it justice, but this thing has all sorts of marks as well on it, which is wild. Is this what the 2008 CPUs look like? They were kind of hurting on buffing these things out or something? Kind of weird, right? CPU is good to go. The vents are degooched. That was actually very easy. It was very light dust, which is a good indication that this thing was not abused.
It was at this very moment I realized this chip is actually the North Bridge, and I bought the dollar store Qosmio G50. You see these solder pads here? That's where the SpursEngine coprocessor is supposed to go. Remember the missing ports in the back? That's where the TV antenna jack and twin infrared out ports go. So this model is actually just another thick desktop replacement, not the all-powerful media center I thought it was going to be. It's still cool though, so let's put it back together and actually use it.
Well, that was a fucking nightmare. At least I managed to put it all back together in one try without missing a single screw. I'm not setting the CMOS battery. I've had enough of that date and time. No more date and time. But yes, more drivers. So we have drivers on here, hopefully. We downloaded it from an EU website because the EU seems to be the only people that care about owning a product. I'm really curious about the FM tuner. I'm curious how I can get the radio on here. Oh, that must be the IR sensor. Yeah, that's the IR sensor for the remote. I bet you the remote still works if we can program it properly. Oh, so wow, geez Louise, we have a bunch of drivers here. This screen is super glossy, sorry about that. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Volume is still not fixed. This is a normal sized laptop and a normal sized chair. Terrible news. Nothing worked. Not a single driver worked. Obviously it's because I'm running Windows 10 on this thing and it's not meant to run Windows 10. Even with 2 blown speakers, the speakers still outweigh anything that's made today. So this is what I'm gonna do. I showed you the hardware. Now it's not right to not do this thing justice. I have the wrong charger, there's no battery in it, and the wrong software is running. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a follow-up video where I'm gonna properly set up the Toshiba Qosmio with Windows Vista and all the proper drivers. One of you kind souls uploaded all the drivers for this computer. So shout out to Loik7. Loik7 is the one who uploaded all the drivers for this thing. You are the man or woman. You are the person. Thank you very much. That's gonna help out significantly on this thing. This one I would love if you guys can give me the proper drivers for this thing, for Windows Vista 64-bit. The model number is below in the description. Yeah, help me do this thing justice. Until then, I'm gonna have to reinforce that shelf so I can put it back on the shelf with the other thick boys. Until then, they'll be together. They can make a baby. Is there a third Qosmio that should go here? Let me know. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one. So I got something bigger. The Toshiba Qosmio. Bless you.
Sorry. Shut up!
Quiet on the goddamn set. This is how small I actually am.